Hey there folks, I'm the Lon Chaney Reviewer and welcome to Silent Film Saturday, episode number 41. Today I'm going to be talking about Disney stuff. Now, before I begin, I just want to say we reached 100 subscribers. We're now at 102 last time I checked. Thank you guys. Hopefully we can get to 200 next year. Anyhow, I'm going to be discussing the 1927-1928 cartoon shorts of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. For those of you who are unaware of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, here's basically what Oswald is. The guy before Mickey. This was a Disney character who wasn't officially a Disney character until 2006. Part of that being, when Disney started out, he was working for Universal for a period of time. He and Ub Iwerks. Ub Iwerks is pretty much like the mastermind behind Mickey Mouse and, these Oswald cartoons and some of the Alice shorts and even a few of the Skeleton Dance, the early Silly Symphony short. But Walt wanted to make the cartoons better. I know I'm going ahead of myself here, but the costs were increasing for these cartoons. Walt always wanted to improve upon them, and as you might notice, these cartoons did improve visually as they went on. But when he talked to his boss, he's just like, no, I actually want you to take a 20% pay cut. I actually own the rights to the character, and I own your staff. And this kind of crushed Walt, and Walt just said, screw it, I'm leaving. And then eventually, Iwerks and Walt, that created Mickey Mouse, and Mickey Mouse is the corporate icon, and most people don't know who Oswald is. However, since 2007, when they've been putting out merchandise for the character, including this wonderful DVD set, Oswald has gained much more public attention. In fact, is actually a prominent character in the video game Epic Mickey. I have no idea about this game. I've heard my friends talk about it, but I've never played it, and I probably will never have a review of that game on this channel. If you ever have played the game, please leave your thoughts in the comments, or maybe, message me a video of your review or something like that. In any case, this is a part of the Disney Treasures line. I wish they were continuing these. Unfortunately, they're not right now. These sets, basically, these metal case sets, as you may notice. They're usually two-disc DVD sets, the front, back. Then they come with the 2 discs, and you have like a booklet, certificate of authenticity, and other items. And actually, with this particular set, you get an Oswald pin, which is really nice. It's a 2-disc set. The first disc has Oswald cartoon shorts, and then the second disc has some really nice supplemental features, including some Ub Iwerks cartoons, and you also have a documentary about Ub Iwerks by his granddaughter, which is really interesting. Now, Oswald is not the most incredibly interesting character in the world. The reason why he is so interesting is because of how long it took for Disney to get the rights back to Oswald. It wasn't until 2006 where Disney acquired Oswald into the Disney company, and has been part of it since. And there's been merchandise in the parks. There's T-shirts, there's plushies. Then you have this DVD set, which is not that expensive, or at least not as expensive as some of the other now out-of-print Disney Treasures sets. Alright, so now you guys really want to know my top 5 favorite Oswald the Lucky Rabbit cartoon shorts. Now, there are 13 shorts in this, I believe 13 shorts. Those are the only 13 made by Disney that still exist, at least as far as I know. The other shorts could be anywhere, they could be lost, they could be, destroyed. But these are the ones that we have. And the picture quality is fine, and the scores are done by Robert Israel, and they work for the most part, but they get a little repetitive. Especially when you're like me and you're watching these as a marathon. It's about 80 minutes long if you watch all of them. So, top 5 Oswald the Lucky Rabbit cartoons. Number 5. Skyscrapers. Now, this is a cartoon short where Oswald's in construction. He's up against his rival, and he's having boxed lunch with his, cat girlfriend. I don't know. The earlier Oswald shorts, he had a girlfriend that was a rabbit as well, but I guess they wanted to make it look more. They wanted to make it different looking, so they decided to make her a cat-looking thing. I don't know. It exists, but there's there's a lot of inanimate objects, kind of moving. For example, when the villain in the cartoon, it kind of resembles Peg Leg Pete. He drops a crane down to get the love in, the female character, and he moves her, her skirt, and then picks her up by her undergarments, and then she falls out of the undergarments and tries to float back into our undergarments. I know I'm using that word a lot, but these things do pop up in these cartoons. Number 4. Alright, number 4, we have All Wet. This is an Oswald short where it takes place on the beach. Oswald wants to impress his love interest, who is, kind of wearing a bathing suit. She's, out in the ocean, and she needs to be saved. She's getting attacked by a fish. Oswald becomes a lifeguard by bribing the lifeguard. Now, I put this short on the list because it reminds me of another Mickey Mouse short, The Carnival Kid from 1929. Because of the hot dogs. Why do I like this short? I like the way when he's rowing the boat, he's on the crests and the troughs of the waves. That's really cool looking. I also liked it when he bribed the lifeguard character as a dog, and he's just like, all right, put your chest up. Here's the pin. I'm taking my $1 and I'm out of here. So that was quite amusing. Number 3. Number 3 is Great Guns. This is like a World War I cartoon. With Oswald, he goes out to war, he gets recruited, and he fights in World War I. And he fights against mice, and he fights against the Peg Leg Pete general type of character. And he uses an elephant as a cannon by putting putting pepper in the trunk, then putting a cannonball in, pulling the tail, kapowie. And then they have like portable cannons where they literally pick up a cannon and they use it. It's not like a gun, it's a portable cannon. Yeah, I think this is actually really one of the better cartoons in the set, because it actually kind of makes me care about the character. He's got a love interest at home, and now he's on the battlefield. He's kissing her photograph. It's kind of it really does make me think of like World War I based movies, or any war movie for that matter. And the plane scenes are also quite fun. Number 2. Number two is Ocean Hop. Ocean Hop makes me think of Plane Crazy because of planes. They use planes in the cartoon. Basically, there's a big, race in New York to Paris, flying their plane, because 1920s planes were pretty much all the rage, because of Charles Lindbergh and people like him. So you have some really amusing gags, like there's a title card that says The Dark Horse, but it's literally a dark horse. And it's actually Oswald covering up his, really, like, rinky-dinky plane. And there's some amusing gags. For example, he has, like, the giant dachshund. Excuse me. He has this giant dachshund that he puts wings on, and it makes him fly. And then he rows through the air, taking his ears off. That's another thing in these cartoon shorts you might notice. It's kind of like Felix the Cat, where he uses body parts to achieve things. So that was number 2. Number 1 is Oh What a Night. This is basically Oswald trying to save, his again cat girlfriend. I don't get it. It's weird, but okay. From the castle. What really makes this cartoon for me is the use of shadow. The shadows are brilliant in this one. This Ub Iwerks, again, he's just like a one-man show. He's really the real star of these cartoons. And my favorite segment in the entire cartoon is where he's sword fighting, but he leaves the sword fight to kiss, the love interest. and the Shadow is still sword fighting against the villain. And then he goes back to, does a little bit of this, but then he goes back, kisses the girlfriend like a couple times, and then he tries to stab the guy, in the rear end. It doesn't work. And it all ends very nicely. And that is my number 1 favorite Oswald short, and these were my top 5 favorite Oswald the Lucky Rabbit shorts. What are your favorite Oswald the Lucky Rabbit cartoons? Post your favorites in the comments below. And I hope to see you next week for Silent Film Saturday, because I will be discussing the film People on Sunday. See you next week.